Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I will be discussing multiple choice questions on medieval history of Odisha. This is the 10th part of the series of Odisha history. In this video, 20 questions are covered from the subject mentioned. Although I have taken up only 20 questions, after the discussion you will get to know more than 50 to 60 such information of the Odisha history, which are very important and probable from all types of competitive examinations. So without delay, let us start. Here is the first question. Which of the following was not a Sarkar in Odisha region during the reign of Mughal Emperor of Akbar? Bhadrak, Katak, Kalingadandapata, Ganjam. The right answer is Ganjam. Odisha under Mughal rule, which was known as Mughal Bandi, was divided into different Sarkars. Formerly, it was known as Dandapat. There were 5 sarkars, that is Jaleshwar, Bhadrak, Katak, Kalingadandapat and Rajamahendri. Question number 2. Who among the following Mughal rulers appointed a Muhtasib for the propagation of Islam in Odisha? Akbar, Shahjahan, Aurangzeb, Jahangir. The right answer is Aurangzeb. The Muhtasib was a person who was appointed by the political power, Sultan or Imam, whoever was there, to police and enforce the Islamic law in particular area. The Muhtasib was responsible for ensuring that the activities of the Muslims in an area conform with the Sharia laws. Question number 3. Who among the following Mughal ruler became too barbarous to issue a decree for the demolition of all the new Hindu temples and prohibiting the repairs of the old ones? Akbar, Jahangir, Shahjahan, Aurangzeb. The right answer is Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb, who was also known as Muhyiddin Muhammad, was the 6th Mughal emperor after Shahjahan, who ruled over almost the entire Indian subcontinent from 1658 to 1707. Aurangzeb was a religious bigot and intolerant to other religions. Question number 4. In which year Dutch settled first in Odisha? 1617, 1625, 1632, 1666. The right answer is 1625. Dutch Republic is present-day Netherlands. The Dutch East India Company, that is trading company, was founded in 1602 to protect that state's trade in the Indian Ocean. The Dutch founded their first factory in India at Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh in 1605. Dutch were second to come to India after Portuguese. Question number 5. Where did the Dutch find their first settlement in Odisha in the 17th century? Harispur, Ganjam, Pipli, Chilika. The right answer is Pipli. Pipli was the first place where the Dutch had established themselves in current territory of Odisha. It was soon abandoned for Balasur. Question number 6. Where did the East India Company set up their first factory in Odisha? Dhamara, Pipli, Astaranga, Harispur. The right answer is Harispur. British East India Company was established in 1599. Harispur is situated in the Jagat Singhpur district of Odisha. It was one of the main ports of the Odisha during the period of the Ganga dynasty. Its first factory in India was established at Surat. In which year East India Company set up their first factory in Odisha? 1633, 1623, 1613, 1603. East India Company established its first factory in Odisha in 1633 at Harispur. Takvi loans granted to people during the rule of Naib Najims was related to education, marriage, agriculture, religion. The right answer is agriculture. The Naib Nizam was the deputy of the Nawab of Bengal. who was responsible for governing territories in eastern Bengal, including for revenue collection, army and navy affairs, and administering justice. The Takvi loan was a short-term loan given to poor farmers to purchase seeds, fertilizers, equipments, and for other agricultural purposes. Question number 9. In which of the following year Odisha passed into the hands of the Maratha? 1751, 1692, 1651, 1749. The right answer is 1751. The conflict between Alivardi Khan of Bengal and Maratha ultimately led to a treaty in 1751 in which Mir Habib was to be regarded as a servant of Alivardi Khan, the Naib Nizam, to rule over Odisha on his behalf. He would pay 12 lakhs of rupees annually to Raghuji, that is Maratha, on the condition that the Maratha would not set their foot within the dominions of Alivardi. River Sunamukhi, or present-day Suvarnarekha, which runs near Balesar, was decided as the demarcating line between the boundaries of Odisha and Bengal. Question number 10. Who among the following was the last Muslim governor or Subadar of Odisha? Alivardi Khan, Sayyid Ahmad Khan, Mir Habib, Mir Saleh. The right answer is Mir Saleh. Mirza Saleh was the governor of Odisha from 1752 to 1759. He served both under Alivardi Khan and his grandson Siraj Udullah. While Siraj was against the fortification activities of British, Saleh not only secretly helped British but conspired with them to oust Siraj Udullah. After the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar refused to pay Chaut to Maratha. For this, Saleh was blamed and forced to resign in 1759. He was the last Muslim Subedar of Odisha to serve the cause of both the Maratha of Nagpur and Nawab of Bengal. After him, Odisha was under the direct control of the Maratha administration. Question number 11. The Treaty of 1715 was a tripartite agreement among the Afghans, the Mughals, the Bhonsles, the British. The right answer is Bhonsle. The treaty was a triangular compromise amongst three sets of forces in the name of Raghuji, Mir Habib and Alivardi. Raghuji for money, Mir Habib for honor and revenge, and Alivardi for rest without being unmindful for retaining his nominal overlordship over Odisha. Who among the following was the first Maratha Subedar of Odisha? Chimna Sau, Seo Bhatt, Bhaskar Pandit, Bhavani Pandit. The right answer is Seo Bhatt. Seo Bhatt Sathe was the first Maratha Subedar in Odisha. With the death of Raghuji Bhonsle, his son Januji ascended the throne of Nagpur. He appointed Seo Bhatt Sathe as the Subedar of Odisha. He served in the position from 1760 to 1764. Here we can have a look at the Maratha Subedar in Odisha. The first was Seo Bhatt, then Bhavani Pandit, Sambhaji Ganesh, Babuji Naik, Madhoji Hari, Rajaram Pandit, Sadasiv Rao. Sadasiv Rao was the last Maratha Subedar in Odisha. Question number 13. Which of the following were ruling over Odisha when the British occupied the coastal Odisha? Maratha, Mughal, Afghans, none of the above. The right answer is Maratha. After the death of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb in 1707, the Mughal power started to decline. Taking advantage of this, Maratha occupied Odisha in 1751 and ruled over it till it was occupied by the British in 1803. Question number 14. When did British occupy the coastal Odisha for administrative convenience? 1795, 1800, 1803, 1693. The right answer is 1803. Lord Wellesley was the Governor General of India at that time. He was a great imperialist. He wanted to occupy the coastal strip of Odisha under the British hegemony. Taking the absence of Sadasiv Rao, the Maratha Subedar, from Cuttack in October 1803, the British General Harcourt occupied coastal Odisha, thus ended the rule of the Maratha over Odisha. Question number 15. Who was the Maratha Subedar of Odisha when the British occupied the coastal Odisha? Rajaram Pandit, Babuji Naik, Sambhuji Ganesh, Sadashiv Rao. The right answer is Sadashiv Rao. Sadashiv Rao became the Subedar of Odisha after the death of his father Rajaram Pandit. He remained Subedar of Odisha from 1793 to 1803 till British occupied Odisha. Sadashiv Rao was quite friendly to the British like his father, but British betrayed his friendship. Question number 16. Into how many praganas the Mughalbandi areas of Odisha was divided under the Maratha dispensation? 150, 100, 90, 80. The right answer is 150. Todarmal, the great revenue minister of Akbar, introduced his bandobast or settlement, according to which Odisha was divided into two parts, the Mughalbandi and Garjat. The area which remained under the direct administration of the Mughals was called Mughalbandi. The Garjat were the area which remained under the direct administration of the native kings, who submitted to the Mughals by paying a fixed annual revenue. This system was continued by Maratha also. They divided Mughalbandi into 150 praganas, and each pragana was further divided into 3 or 4 mahals. Question number 17. Who among the following was the highest revenue officer during Maratha administration? Chaudharis, Talukdar, Amil, none of the above. The right answer is Amil. The Mughalbandi, which was divided into 150 praganas, were under the management of 32 Amils. The Amil or Revenue Commissioner was responsible for the assessment of revenue and entrusting charge to different officers for the collection of revenue. Question number 18. Who among the following were the immediate subordinate officers after the Subadar in Maratha administration? Amils, Faujdar, Kanungos, Talikdar. The right answer is Faujdar. Under Maratha administration, Subadar was the head of both civil and military administration. Under the control of the Subadar, there were some Faujdars who controlled some chowkis or outposts. Question number 19. Who among the following officials was in charge of the administration of the praganas under the Maratha dispensation? Faujdars, Amils, Kanungos, Talukdars. The right answer is Amils. The Amils was in charge of pragana, to whose responsibility was the assessment of revenue. The hereditary revenue collectors under him were termed as Chaudharis, Kanungos or Talukdar, each in charge of a taluk or subdivision. Question number 20. During Maratha rule in Odisha, the term Nankar referred to which of the following? Donation to religious shrines, annual sum paid to the Jagannath temple at Puri, the court of Subadar, rent-free land given to revenue collectors. The right answer is D. Rent-free land given to revenue collectors. Nankar was the rent-free land given to revenue collectors like Chaudharis, Kanungos or Talukdar, each of whom was in charge of taluk or subdivision. So, this was the last question. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe the channel if you have not it.